Hey everybody, Logan here. I guess you could say today's video is a culmination of a bunch of questions that I normally get. People ask me, what about this controller? Do you use this one? What do you think about this one? Which one do you use for this one? What about for this one? Well, I'm answering all those questions today. I'm going to show you all of my go-to controllers for every platform, whether it be Xbox, Switch, Switch 2, PC, Polymega, what have you. I'm going to show you my go-to ones, and this video might just surprise you. You're going to be like, you have all these fancy controllers, you've used this, you've used that, and that's what you go to? Well, yeah. Let me show you. Okay, so first and foremost, I'm going to get the most basic one out of the way because I haven't covered too many controllers for this console, and that's the PS5. Yeah, that's my go-to right there. Standard DualSense. I like the white one. My backup is a green one. Now, if we're talking about the one in my office, it's the black and red one, where it's just black, but it's the same thing. Now, I do add, you're going to notice something, that I put stick caps on some of my controllers depending on how much I'm going to be playing and what controller they are. I put them on here mainly to protect them because, well, they're all white and they're going to get dirty, but just a standard DualSense. Yeah, not the DualSense Edge, not the Victrix. This is my go-to. Yes, it's just, I think the DualSense is just one of the best possible controllers you can purchase with all the features it has, the rumble and the touchpad, and then it just has so many features and it's comfortable. So this is my go-to for my PlayStation 5. I just keep it on the charge dock and, well, there you go. Next is, well, what's the newest one? Switch 2, and I'm pretty sure you can guess. Switch 2 Pro Controller. Until something else comes out wireless that can wake up the console, this is going to be my go-to. And again, you can see the thumbstick caps. I use these as well, just because, again, I don't like the smoothness of the sticks at the top. So this is what I use, and that's pretty much it. But that's a no-brainer to most people. But if we go back to Switch 1, and I still use this from time to time on the Switch 2, because it's still a fantastic controller, that is the GameSir Supernova. The GameSir Supernova has become one of my favorite controllers just in general because of the feel, the functionality. You can swap out the face buttons, you can swap out the faceplate. I actually have all three variations, the white and the red, and the standard white that was originally white and pink, but I swapped out the faceplate, and then the black and blue. Now, one thing is, depending on when you're watching this, you can actually get this for $29.99 at Best Buy. I don't know if it's one of their Total Tech deals or whatnot, but as of yesterday, as of today recording, the day before, it was $29.99, and I think that is a steal. But this is a fantastic controller. You can use it on PC or mobile, but again, it's a Switch controller first and foremost, in my opinion. I like the fact that you can, again, swap out those buttons and the face plates and the sticks. So see, I just popped off the stick by accident because normally I actually have the stick caps on here, but I took them off I can't remember why I took them off, but I took them off for a reason. So there we go. Let's put that back there. But you can swap around the buttons. So if you want the Xbox layout or the Switch layout, again, Switch layout, it has your RGB lighting. And of course, the swappable faceplates. You got one set of flappy paddles in the back, and then you can swap it. And it also has the charge dock. That is one of my favorites. At $49.99, I think this controller is a steal. It just works great all the way around. It's 1000 hertz on PC, but of course on Switch, nothing goes higher than 150 hertz. From my understanding, the Switch 2 supports up to 250 hertz, but I haven't seen anything solid about that from Nintendo. So this is just a fantastic controller all around. If GameSir comes out with a Supernova 2 that works specifically for the Switch and has wake up, that will be my go-to from here on out for that. So I love this controller. Fantastic, fantastic. Now, my next one is actually, we'll go to the Xboxes. Yes, I say Xboxes because I have a Series S in my office where I do a lot of the gameplay capture and trailer capture and stuff like that. And I have my Series X in my game room, which is the one that I play my games on. So the one in the office, which is a Series S, this is actually a wired GameSir T7. So very simple, nothing fancy, no flappy paddles, no trigger locks, but it gets the job done. It is Hall effect, and it's just a fantastic controller, very inexpensive, $29.99. This is probably one of the best you can use. Like I said, I don't game hard on that one. It's mainly just for footage capture and stuff like that. So this is my go-to. It just stays plugged in. Since I got this one before, it was the G7 SE or the Snakebite. One of the two Snakebites I had. I kept swapping them out, but this is the one that's now the go-to on that one. It's a great controller, and I don't have to worry about anything happening to it and getting drift or anything like that, but it really doesn't matter since it's what it's used for is pretty basic. That's why I have a basic controller on that. I thought I'd throw this one anyway just because it's a fantastic controller. Now, this one might surprise you. This is my Series X go-to. There's, a lot of controversy around the brand. I think it's a fantastic brand. There are people that say, oh, it sucks. You know what? I ignore them because this is one of my favorite third-party wireless controllers, and that's the wireless controller from PowerA. This has 4 flappy paddles, trigger locks, set of trigger locks, so it has 3 modes. It has Hall effect sticks. Yes, there is the Fusion Pro Wireless, which has the adjustable and the RGB, but I really like this one. I like the texture, how smooth it is. I like the Pac-Man design. I'm not a big fan of yellow, but there's something about that yellow and blue. And this is my go-to one on my Xbox. Yes, I have the Doom controller. Yes, I have the Elite controller. Yes, I have all those, but this is still my favorite. This is my go-to. This is the one I use no matter what I'm playing. The only reason you don't see stick caps on here because these stick tops are a little small. I had them on here, but they spin because they're just a bit smaller than your standard Xbox one. So that's the reason you don't see them on here. But otherwise, I would normally have them on almost all my Xbox controllers. That's the only reason you don't see them on here. But I really do love this controller. It's fantastic. It's great quality. It's also compatible with the charge dock for the Fusion Pro Wireless. It has these awesome rubber grips, and well, it's Pac-Man, and that's cool. So yeah, that's my go-to Series X controller. Now, in my game room, there's another console that I play, and I mention from time to time, but it's a niche console, and that is the Polymega. And of all things, I prefer the EasySMX D05. Yes, before this, I was using the X05, and I just felt like that was the most comfortable controller. Now there is a secondary controller which I use is a wired SN30 Pro, and that is because it's a Super Nintendo style one, but this is my go-to one, and it has the recharge dock, so it feels like a standard Xbox controller. You got 2 flappy paddles in the back. Otherwise, it's pretty standard, and it's comfortable. It works great with the Polymega. It works great with PS1 games, Super Nintendo games, Sega Saturn games, NES games. It works great with all of them. And what I've noticed is, after trying a ton of different controllers with the Polymega, the EasySMX ones just work the best. They have the least input delay. You'd be surprised the brands that I've tried that actually have input delay on the Polymega. And you can feel it when you're playing platformers on NES or Super NES, where the EasySMX ones tend not to. So that's why this is my go-to one. I really don't like the standard one that comes with it. It feels really cheap and kind of junky. This is a fantastic controller, inexpensive, solid. It's just a great overall controller. Yes, it works on multi-platforms such as Switch and PC, but I use this day to day on my Polymega. So there you go. And then the final one, which is the one for PC. Now, PC is very contentious because people are like, oh, you should be using the GameSir this. You should be using the big one that. You should be using the 8-bit Do this. You should be using... You know what? I don't play too much on PC, but when I do, 8-Bit Do Ultimate 2. Yes, this is a skin for it because, well, I decided to get the skin for it, and this can be used on any version of the Ultimate 2. So I was using it on the yellow one for the Switch, but I decided to put it on here since this is my go-to one when I'm doing anything for PC, and it's usually, again, just footage capture. I don't play on PC. People are like, but that's the best. No, that's your personal opinion. So I'm not really the biggest PC gamer. Like I said, I don't really play. To me, PC is for work, consoles are for gaming. I know, the fanboys will come after me for saying that, but, you know, c'est la vie, such is life, you know, that's my personal opinion. But if I am playing anything or testing out, or there have been companies that have said, hey, we have this game we want you to try, and it's only on PC, then yeah, and this has been the one I'll go to. You've got your TMR sticks, you've got your claw buttons, you've got your flappy paddles, you got your trigger locks, and you've got your 1000 hertz, and it's got the superb D-pad and anti-friction rings with the fire rings with that light up. It's a fantastic controller all around. And if I had to choose what controller I think is the best PC controller, Ultimate 2. Yeah, some people, again, they'll come after me and say, the Cyclone is better, the TMR, the Blitz TMR is better, the blah, 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 blah. They're all great controllers. This is just my favorite. This is my preference. How it feels in the hand, I really do like the 8-Bit Do controllers. I think they are some of the best. After that, yes, I'll go with GameSir and then Easy SMX. They're just built very well and they're very comfortable. I've only used, for the big one, I've only used 3 of them. The Blitz 2 TMR, and the Aether. The Aether's nice, it's got the small screen, but in terms of just feel, in-hand feel, I think this one's the best. Next would be GameSir. It's just about how it's comfortable in the hand for longer play sessions if you are playing on PC. So there you go. You've got 8-Bit Do, you've got Easy SMX, you got GameSir, another GameSir, you got PowerA, you've got Nintendo, and you got Sony. So yes, I know they're all trying to get in shot here. There we go. So those are very boring now that I look at them. They're all black. Normally I've had, before this round of controllers had come out, they were all very colorful for the ones that I was using for each respective platform. This is probably the only ones that have color right there. But yeah, otherwise there are a couple of other consoles that I'll say I use the standard one or the Retro Fighters for my Dreamcast. Same thing for the Nintendo 64. Super Nintendo still standard Super Nintendo controller. And then if you go to other platforms, PS4, they're all the standard ones. I don't really deviate on the retro consoles unless we're talking about Nintendo 64, but that's a whole nother story, and that's fun because Nintendo 64's got a lot of fun controllers. Same thing with the Dreamcast, but the Dreamcast I still just go back to the regular. It just feels right, even though it's got one of the worst D-pads out there. But hey, this is my selection of go-to controllers. People are going to say, I'm wrong for choosing this, I'm wrong for choosing that, blah, 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 because that's what people do. But these are the controllers that I feel are the most comfortable, that I enjoy using the most for the different consoles that I have for the different setups. I think it's just fantastic lot of controllers. I'm really looking forward to seeing what other companies do for the Switch 2, because again, I know there are some that are hitting very soon. When it comes to new controllers that come out, I look to see if they're compatible with Polymega and to see if they can dethrone the Easy SMX ones for me. So far, the only one that's dethroned an Easy SMX was an Easy SMX. And then GameSir, I really hope they come out with the Supernova 2 for the Switch 2. That'll be fantastic. And well, we do have the G7 Pro coming out from GameSir, and I'm really looking forward to that. And well, you know what? There's another 8-Bit Do I've got coming in for Xbox, and we're going to compare that to the G7 Pro soon, and I'll make my decision then, and who knows, in a year, this might change. We'll see. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this video. God bless each and every one of you. In the comment section below, drop. Let me know what your go-to controllers are. Like what I always say, be legendary. Thanks again.